right. Hello, and good evening. Thank you for joining me in a little slice of strange science today. This was something that I actually saw when I was looking for stuff to go over a couple days ago, but it did just kind of slip my mind. And then Ginny was talking about it just last night on Steph's show, on Steph's 200 subscriber celebration. So if you didn't see that, it was a pretty fun time last night. Some of the cool people you see here in the side chat were actually there in that side chat or there on that panel. So check that out. But yeah, Ginny had mentioned this topic, and I had, since I'd seen it, I figured I would go ahead and give it a little bit of coverage because you guys know that Bree loves sharks. And here on Live Science, they're talking about some strange shark behavior. So, the strange story of a shark, or of sharks that lived in a golf course pond for 20 years, then vanished. In the 1990s, a group of juvenile bull sharks were left stranded in a golf course pond in Australia where they thrived for decades. Now scientists are trying to understand why. Unlike many other shark species, bull sharks, Carcharodontis luacus, are able to survive in freshwater environments such as rivers. For nearly 20 years, a group of bull sharks lived in an artificial pond in an Australian golf course after being stranded by receding floodwaters. Then they vanished. A new paper published in August on the 18th in the journal Marine and Fishery Sciences chronicle the history of this unique population. Bull sharks are unusual in that they can live in freshwater environments and are found in rivers around the world. Although their freshwater sojourns are typically temporary, bull sharks can occasionally have occasionally been trapped in freshwater environments for long periods, and apparently they thrive. The golf course sharks were likely washed inland during a period of flooding. The Carbrook Golf Club, southeast of Brisbane, is directly adjacent to the Logan and Albert Rivers. Summer storms occasionally result in rainfall that breaches the banks of the river, inundating the surrounding floodplain. Given that the course is less than 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers inland from the coast, it is well within the freshwater zone inhabited by bull sharks. The sharks ended up in the pond, which was the remnant of a sand mining operation at some point between 1991 and 1996. During that period, 3 floods breached the river's banks and swept inland, bringing the sharks with them. When the floodwaters receded, the sharks were stranded. They were first detected in 1996 while the pond, which is around 700 meters long and 380 meters deep, is relatively small and shallow. No formal population count was ever established. The sharks were, however, frequently visible, often coming near the shore. Their presence was welcomed by the golf course manager, and the species became a mascot for the establishment. The sharks were likely juveniles when they found themselves stranded, but eventually grew up to 3 meters long, that's 9.8 feet, according to observational reports. Their feeding habits were not scrutinized, but it's likely that the species they were also introduced to the pond during flooding events such as flathead gray mullet, Mugil cephalus, Indo-Pacific tarpon, Megalops cyprinoides, cyprinoides, mangrove red snapper, Leguminus argentimaculatus, and yellow-finned bream. Arcanthopargus australis provided ample sustenance. If sharks can get the food they need, being in these low salinity environments can be beneficial because there are fewer predators. Michael Heighthouse, a shark biologist at Florida International University, who was not involved with the study, told HiveScience. Pups in some nurseries may go years in virtually fresh water, so it isn't too surprising they'd survive as long as there was plenty of food. The sharks were last seen in 2015. Another flood in 2013 may have allowed some of the sharks to escape back into the adjacent river, though the paper's authors think others may have simply died and sank. One carcass was recovered by golf course staff while the sharks were still active in the pond. While the pond appears to be devoid of sharks now, this strange episode illustrates the adaptability of these primeval predators and their tolerance of freshwater environments. The team said the case of the Gulf Pond sharks is the longest known example of bull sharks continuously inhabiting a low salinity environment. All right, so that was written up by Richard Pilardi. Richard Pilardi is a freelance science writer based in Chicago. Talking sharks, talking bull sharks with us. So that was pretty cool. That was our little slice of strange science for today. Thank you for sticking with me. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.